Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. I shall see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today. A little bit of a late recording, mainly because I got a little bit distracted. I was trying to find a good image for some D&D characters, and it's proving very, very difficult for this one right now. I haven't found quite the right art, but then I got a little bit distracted and I was like, whoa, I'm like way too late to record. I actually missed the midnight, not deadline, but cut off. Anyway, good evening everyone. I'm here with a late night broadcast. I hope I can make it through this. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 12 AM on Wednesday, August 7th, 2024. Or Tuesday, August 6th, 2024, as it should be, but again, I was a little bit late. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with this. I was just gonna talk about random stuff. Like I'm trying to find this NPC art, but basically I'm trying to find someone who sort of looks like Argenti from Star Rail, like a sort of like dazzling knight in shining armor sort of thing, but it's not Argenti from Star Rail. And it's hard to find like an exact sort of art where I look at it and be like, damn, this is the most beautiful man I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, not the point. Right now I'm just like looking through other sort of like gacha games because I'm just like absolutely one of these will have something I need. But yes, anyway, long and short, that's what I was doing, and I basically it's because Act 2 is starting for one of the campaigns. The other campaign, it will be wrapping up the sort of Act 1. I don't really know how quickly it will go into Act 2 for that one, but we'll see. So it means I need to make like a lot of... I don't need to make a lot of, you know, like obviously I'm not going to overwhelm them with characters. So eventually when we get to the next place, this is sort of like a transitional period where I want to do, you know, some sort of lore drops here and there to allow the lore to breathe a little bit, allow them to interface the world a bit more. But for that I need some characters. But anyway, what have I been up to? Epic Musical, a new saga is released, the one with the sirens. I will say the song... What's it called? I will take your something. Well, how does that go? Siren song, epic, the musical. I will take your suffering. That's it. I got there eventually. The song called Suffering. I love the intro to that song. Like the sort of like etherealness with the voices. But it's not like an ethereal, it's like a quiet. Just like it's a very sort of modern take on like etherealness. I was listening to it and I was like, whoa, beautiful. Favourite song of this saga, I think. Oh, it's hard to say, I don't know. The songs are pretty good. But I didn't realise there was like a follow-up to it. I didn't realise there was a new one. Like a new saga. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm vibing with it. Let's have a listen, let's have a look-see. What have you got for me? And it was pretty good. What can I say? It was fantastic stuff. Like it's something which I can definitely see myself putting on repeat now for the next couple of days, just to sort of like get it in my head. Like I do really love a lot of songs on it. Genshin Impact, Emily's banner came out. I got well, I had her guarantee, so I pulled her around 76, which is like about average. It's like when soft pity starts, and I had it guaranteed, so you know, no surprises there. Then I was really high pity on the weapon banner. I was like at 50 something pity because I was trying to get Xiphus's Moonlight on the last one, and I was like, I like both these weapons on this banner. Let's hit the 50-50 and let's see, you know, worst case scenario, I get a guarantee on the next banner I see. But I was like, I like both these weapons. Let's pull. And then I hit Soft Pity, and I got Yelen's weapon, and I was like, that's pretty cool. There are some new weapons on this banner, like new 4-stars, and I do always want to sort of increase my scope of like how many weapons I have. So I was like, I'll do one more temple just to see if I can get any of the other weapons on this banner. And then I got another 5-star, and I got Emily's weapon. My Genshin luck out of control with weapons because I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, but I got Nilu's weapon on the Xiphus banner, just trying to get Xiphus, like at 15 pity, and I was like, okay. So I've never lost a 75-25 on the weapon banner in Genshin. I don't think I've lost it in Star Rail either yet, which is crazy. So that is just like out of control at the moment. Have I not lost it yet? Yeah, I've not lost it yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I've got a 7 on there, and I've got 8 in Genshin. So, what is going on? I don't know. But that's not what I was going to talk about today. What I was going to talk about today was actually a really cool YouTube series I saw by a creator called Bear Taffy, who I only know because of Northern 9, and I heard about it. I don't even know how I heard about it. Maybe it was like recommended, or no, I saw it on a Northern 9 subreddit, which I'm still subscribed to. But it was a random post which I clicked on. And I was just like, what does this even like mean? And then I saw the description of it, and I was like, this is a really cool idea. But basically, what it is, it's a sideshow, like a mini series, I suppose he has, called Side Quest, where essentially he gets like 3 people to come up and take a challenge, a video gaming challenge. And what the video game challenge is that he has like a list of 10 quests that he wants the team of 3 to accomplish in the fastest time possible. And the interesting thing about it is that the quests are very general quests, and the team are basically allowed to use any game they want. I think it's like the first few episodes, so I'm sure the rules will become more refined as it gets done again. But you can use any game you want to accomplish the goals as long as it fulfills it. So one of them is like catch 5 fish. Or you can do that in numerous games. Like I could do that in Animal Crossing. You can do it in Stardew Valley. You can do it in Fishing Simulator. You can do it in Genshin Impact, I suppose, since we're talking about it. You can do it in World of Warcraft, etc., etc. Like the aim of the game is basically to think flexibly and be like, what games can I even accomplish this in, and what games can I accomplish this in quickly. And it was really like fun to me the fun part wasn't as much watching the people do it. Like I watched Northern 9's episode, I was like, that was pretty cool, and then I watched a bit of the others, but then I'd sort of like skip through, just basically being like, oh, I want to see like what the list of the quests are, and then I want to be like, I wonder what I would think of doing in most of them. And the thing I basically ended up thinking was that I'm pretty sure if I had Genshin and Star Rail open, I could do like most of these reasonably quickly, obviously because the quests are done from much more, I'm sure unintentionally, much more like Western viewpoint for like game designs in first place. But like one of them, like I remember, was like a super hard one for them to do. It was like take a photo in game of a boat. My first thought was Animal Crossing. I could do that. You just run to Cap'n and then use the in-game camera function. But I was like, you could do that in Genshin as well very easily. You can use a Wave Rider as an in-game camera function. But I was like, most gacha games have a photo mode, so that actually makes it even easier. And Animal Crossing, Japanese game, I suppose, also has a photo mode. To be fair, most games do have a photo mode, but getting one of a boat very quickly is quite difficult. So yeah, that came to mind. But there's one of them, like I was watching, and I was like, Genshin can do like 6 of these or something, just like immediately. I can't remember what they were though. I mean, it might have been the Kill Mages one. Yeah, so there'd be things like kill 5 goblins, and it's like, okay, what game can I open up and has an enemy called a goblin in? I don't remember what they did in the end. Did they do World of Warcraft? No, I think it might have done Dark and Darker or whatever. I generally don't know. Anyway, it's a really interesting concept, but it was the sort of thing where I was watching it, like the first couple of episodes, I was like, you could really like easily exploit the rules in this game, because for one, I feel like a very natural rule. Like I'm not here to be like, oh, Bear Taffy, run your game better. These are just my sort of thoughts process from a game design perspective. Obviously, he can't just like change it in loop because it's an ongoing competition. You can't just be like, oh, the rules no longer apply to. Oh, these rules now apply to the groups who did it in the latter half of a competition. That's unfair. And it's all in good fun. But I was like, if I was to gamify this, because I was like, this could be a fun thing to run with my friends. Problem is, most of my friends probably don't have all their games installed because they're not streamers, makes sense. And 2, most of them don't have like a huge variety of games, and it might not actually be as fun in the end. But maybe like a restricted scope one. But the thing I thought like was a very natural rule was basically like, once you get a quest done in one game, you can't do it again. You can't get any quest again in that same game. So it sort of like rules out the fact that you can just get up a game. Like very clever from Norman 9 in the first episode. He was like, I'll get up Scribblenauts to find an umbrella. But it rules out the fact that you can just get up like one of the games and just breeze through all of them. Because that happens in one of the episodes. Like I think it was like a mod team or something came in, and they basically like using World of Warcraft and Don't Starve basically did every single quest all at once. Not all at once, but insanely quickly. And I was thinking that Animal Crossing would be really good for a lot of these as well, because Animal Crossing has customizations, it's got photos. It's a very sort of different change of pace to a lot of other games. Obviously, you can't kill goblins in Animal Crossing, but still, I think it's an interesting one, isn't it? There are some other rule suggestions I saw as well, like some being that you can't have any games booted up, so you can't just like alt tab into a different game or something. You can only have one game going at a time, etc., etc. I don't know, but I thought it was a really sort of like cool concept. Some people described it as like a video game taskmaster, which is like, yeah, I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it, taskmaster. Yeah. I don't know what else I was going to say about that, but like, I mean, Taskmaster is sort of like accomplishes tasks, of course, but it's all done by comedians, so it's all meant to be very comical rather than anything else. But I guess it's like, you know, what a stream is meant to be, except for, you know, I'm not sure comical is a word, but entertaining is perhaps a word. Comical seems, for some reason, it feels a bit disrespectful, despite the fact it's not. Well, I don't think it is. But what do I know? Oh, this could be a good one. Sorry, I'm just like looking through images now of characters once again. Just trying to find that perfect character to represent the art. This is a pretty decent one. I'll keep my eye on this one. I have no idea who this character is. Never heard of him. But yeah, what else was I... What else was I going to say? I can't remember. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I thought it was just like a really cool sort of concept in general. I was just like, that's a really like clever idea for doing something, you know? How do we like... There's not many things in general which are sort of like multi-game competitions. Like, how do you really do a multi-game competition, because every game is so different? But if you make it the entire thing, the sort of general concept of like, okay, you have to accomplish these things across different games, then it becomes a lot more interesting, doesn't it? It's sort of like, oh, you know, if you make a whole point about the fact that using different games as well as easily as you can think of them is like, that's a cool concept. What can I say? Kudos to Bear Taffy for coming up with it. Yeah, what else? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think, like, what else could you like really sort of like apply it to, or what sort of other creative multi-game competitions could you really have? And I think that's not exactly the easiest thing to come up with. Well, anything to be honest. Like, how could you like? Is it? I'm not gonna say is it even possible, but it's pretty difficult just to be like, oh hey, here's just here's a way to sort of like intertwine a load of games together. Like, yeah, the most reasonable way, I suppose, is doing something where you had to accomplish the same, not the same thing, but like you had to accomplish a goal in this game, then X goal in this game, X goal in this game, which is just like, it's not really like an intertwined game competition. That's just like a game competition in series, isn't it? Which I'm not going to say there's anything inherently wrong with it. It's just like, we can do better is the sort of vibe I'm trying to go for here, you know? Just like there's always, not there's always, but you know, why not do something a little bit more interesting? If you can do something a little bit more interesting, just having a nice sort of like interweaving of things together. Which, again, not the easiest thing to do, but still. It's hard to not think of something which is just sort of like doing things in sequence rather than actually sort of interweaving everything together in a reasonable way. Just like something like doing something in one game allows you to do something in a different game. Like cross-game competition, multi-game competition. What if it was like a video game decathlon? I know there's like barely even like an esports Olympics equivalent in first place, but that'd be awesome. Imagine esports decathlon. You had to like play FPS, you had to play like a card game or something. You had to play, I don't know, RTS, fighting game, puzzle game. I know this is kind of like straying off a path, because again, these are just playing the games in series rather than sort of like playing them together in parallel to accomplish a certain goal. I can't really think of a better way to do it, like as a sort of a format rather than do this sort of strategy game thing, strategy game, a side quest thing. maybe worth a watch. Or at least worth a peruse. To sort of see what's going on. And then be like, oh yeah, that's a cool concept. Or you might be like, nah, not my thing. In which case, yeah, alright then. Totally up to you, isn't it? What ends up being your thing. Well, not like you have too much control, I suppose, over it. Just sort of is what it is, no? So I'm just saying, like, absolutely nothing. It's absolute fluff. I'm just super distracted trying to find like a good art still. Yeah, I don't know. What else can you sort of say about this sort of thing? It's just like a cool concept, but like it's not very applicable to anything else, is it? It feels like a shame. It feels like there's a missed opportunity in there somehow. Despite the fact I'm sure there's not. It's not really a missed opportunity if there is no other opportunity in there. Which maybe, I mean, there probably is. Just not one I can think of. Anyway, let's round this episode off here. Well, we've got a few more minutes. Come on, we can think of something. What else was a cool thing I saw on the side quest? What else did I see in the side quest, which I thought was an interesting channel? Oh yeah, and I guess the other part of the side quest is that once they've all been accomplished, it's sort of like the time pauses, and you had to be like, okay, let's try and find. You get like one final challenge now, which you need to accomplish. And it's meant to be a lot harder. Although some of them, like, one or two difficult, depending on the game you have, of course. Like, one of them I remember was score 1,000,000 points, which I was like, that would be, in general, like a very clever sort of prompt for something. But then I was also just like, hey, if I played Shiny Colors and did like a match live, you can do auto mode, you can skip through it. It would probably take about 10 seconds to get 2,000,000 points. Which is just like an amusing thing, which I'm obviously, you know, you can't choose things with everything in mind. You just gotta, what are you gonna do? You can only do what you can do. Oh, this is a good one, actually. Let's see if I can find good art of it. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Side quest. Sort of like a, yeah, Taskmaster. Video game Taskmaster. Anyway, I'm going to round this episode up here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time. Bye-bye for now.